All right, guys, back by popular demand. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the tables and the relationships on this project. This is a pretty easy part, at least in my opinion. So while I might have some doubts on the queries themselves, I'm pretty sure these are like 100% legit. These should be good too. It's just that, a couple of these threw me off, but let me know what you guys think. All right, so we're going to start a blank document here. I'm going to go hover over to create table. First table here, you want to go ahead and go to design view. It's going to ask you to save it and name it. You can go ahead and put vendor. Hit OK. And now you're going to go ahead and type code in place of ID. It's highlighted yellow because it is the primary key. This little symbol right here indicates that it is primary key, so we just leave it as is. And now you're going to put name. Just hit OK. Short text right here. Change it to 40. Street address. Keep it short text. You want to change it to 30. And zip code. And change this to number. And in place of input mask, you could do this several ways, I feel like. And I feel like it's going to get you the same thing. So you could type out the zeros, or you could hit the 3 dots here. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. It didn't let me do it. The first time it did let me do it. I'm unsure why right now it's not. So I guess I'll just type in the zeros. Cool. If you guys find out a different way to how to do this, make sure to put it in the chat or in the comments. That should be good. All right. Let's go back to create table. The second one is going to be sales rep. So you can go into design view. It's going to ask you to name it. Go ahead and name it sales rep. ID. That's going to be changed to number. Last name. Short text. Field size 20. First name. Short text. Field size 15. Primary phone. Actually, I'm wrong. It's going to be vendor. Change that to number. Primary phone. Short text. Secondary phone. Short text. Now this input masks, you could do 4 phone numbers also, but I don't think we need to do that for this project. I don't know what you guys think. Then you could do buyer. So go back to create, design view, call it buyer, ID, number, last name, short text, change that to 20, first name, short text, change that to 15, and then primary phone, short text, secondary phone, short text. And then you're going to do item. So go back to create table, design view, item. Item starts off with a UPC, and that's also a number. Input mask. I'm just going to grab all those zeros. Name. Hit OK. Short text file 50. Field size, I mean. Now it's vendor. And that's going to be number. Yep. And then a unit price, which is also number. I'm going kind of fast on these, so if I screw up anywhere, let me know. Back to create, new table, design view, route to transaction, hit OK. This one's going to be invoice number, auto number, and then vendor, number, and then sales rep, number, buyer, number, date, okay, date, time, and then amount, number, received. It's going to be under yes, no. So you could default it. And then paid, yes, no. I feel like when you do these two, something else is should pop up right here in order to make sure that it's defaulted to no, because that's where it's supposed to be defaulted to. It's not appearing for me for some reason. Maybe that's just how it is. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. We move on. Next one. Design view. Transaction element. Hit OK. You can do item. Invoice number. Now both of these are going to carry the primary key. This one is colored green. Indicates that it's the primary and a foreign. This one is number. This one is also number. Quantities next. Make that a number. And then amount is number. All right, so that should be it. And that's all of them. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that's all 6 tables. Guess we're gonna go ahead and move on to the relationships now. And these aren't too hard either. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna grab sales rep and vendor code, because you're gonna link sales rep vendor to vendor code. And the way you do that, pretty easy. Take vendor, drag it over to code. Now, someone asked me a couple days back if I enforce referential integrity. I didn't know what that meant, and I told him so. So, I mean, I didn't check mark it. I don't think you have to. Hit create. You should see a link to it from vendor to code. Then you're going to go ahead and grab item. And if it does for you, because it did this to me a couple times, it just didn't show up everything. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete it. I'm not exactly sure why it doesn't show up everything. I can find a way to delete that. Go back to item. I'm gonna save it. I'm actually close this out. And there you go. We go to vendor now, because the vendor has to link up to vendor code. Hit create. And now transaction. See, it did the same thing again. Close that out. And there it is. We're going to do vendor here, up to code. Hit create. And there you go. That's the first one. Then you're going to do transaction, which we already have. And do sales rep to sales rep ID. Hit create. Then you're going to do transaction buyer to buyer ID. So you got to bring buyer out. Keeps doing that. I think it's because it's not saved. So now you got to get transaction buyer to buyer ID. Hit create. And transaction element. Invoice number to invoice number. Hit create. All right, I'm put this to full screen now. Oh, not full screen. All right, so there it is. That's the relationships. You just save it like that. I believe if you just exit out of here, it asks you if you want to save it, just say yeah. And if you want to go ahead and restore it, go back up to database tools and hit relationships. So I kind of sped through this a bit. but let me know if I did anything wrong. I'll make sure to correct that in the comments. If that's how it should be. Yeah. Check out my other video if you guys need any help on how to do the queries. And yeah, if there's anything else you guys need, or if I need anything else, I'll make sure to put that in the group chat.